See, I forgot. So transference. So transference is listening to somebody else and taking that. It's unconscious modeling. It's sometimes modeling of unhealthy things. And Fritz says, well, that is wrong. It's not bad. And it is wrong because it is against the law. So it's not wrong and it's not bad. It's just against the law. And if I do that, there is a consequence and I can pay the consequence and I'm not feeling bad about it. Sorry. You see, that kind of a behavior is very bad for the economy, the religious establishment, and for the political system, because a person like Fritz cannot be used to be controlled by installing guilt, because he's not going to feel guilty. But that's what teachers do, right? They will corner a student because they didn't obey the law, and they use that example over and over again. They can use the example only as that much time, as much as the child is feeling bad. But the moment the child looks at the teacher and says, Miss, what is bad about it? I didn't do the law, but what is bad about it? The whole dynamics changes now. Miss, what is bad about it? I understand I didn't do what you told me and I deserve the punishment for it, or I'll pay the consequence. But what is bad about it? And why is it bad? Why is it bad? Why is it bad, ma'am? Why is it bad? And that is how we create. I mean, when I was in school, I remember all of us were beaten up badly by teachers. But imagine one of us would have asked, no, why are you touching me? I must have not. You are losing your trigger, bloody. You are not able to control your shit, right?
The expression is, what is wrong?
Exactly, what's wrong? Because you're not able to manage your shit. Your triggers are installed in my behavior. So how am I? Why are you correcting me? Correct yourself. And when you're able to have that discussion, you realize that you're dealing with unfinished businesses within you, and you're not able to come back to the center because you've got transference so much, your parents' idea, and it's not wrong, because some of you, maybe me, we're coming from 1970s. You see the world at that time, the world in which we were brought up had different rules, and we moved from the world of telegram to speed post, to couriers, to emails. We moved, right? We moved from keeping money in a locker to keeping money in a phone. We moved. I mean, look at the fundamental. We moved from not having banks to having banks, to seeing banks are fraud, to knowing that the most trusted establishment was Unit 64 of the nation, and then realize, well, that can be manipulated. We moved from trusting the government to knowing that, well, they have manipulated all the wars, to looking up to religious leaders, and then knowing that, well, there has been frauds and child abuse over here. And that helps us to look at things objectively and not with a blind filter which is generalized. Some are good, some are bad, some are great, some are assholes. To give that to people. Like Madonna said, some men are worth backing, not because they are men, but because they are worth backing. Some people are worth respecting, not because they are religious leaders, but because they are worth respecting. And that moment, something in you will change, because now you can't be manipulated by them. You can't be triggered by them. Yeah. So beware of these transferences that you've held, which you think is true. Some women don't have sex even today after marriage because they were told how bad sex was. And they don't know, because they still hear their father's voice, mother's voice, auntie's voice, village voice, neighbor's voice, all telling how bad sex is. Then some women can't say no to their husband because they've been always told that they're supposed to satisfy their men. And they've been told that whatever happens, keep your man happy or he will leave you and go. And so she's giving even today. She doesn't want it, but she's giving even today, and she's giving it very bad. And she doesn't know how to stop and when to stop, because these are introjections. These are transferences, because she has to keep her man happy. Can you believe that? So am I clear with homeostasis and transference? Homeostasis, all of us constantly try to achieve our balance. Throughout in life, we are constantly trying to achieve balance. Balance from hurt, balance from financial loss, balance from sitting over here for 9 hours and then going back and sleeping, because we're trying to achieve a balance. After a whole day's work, you're trying to achieve a balance. After great sex, you're going to achieve a balance by sleeping for some time. So we are constantly achieving a balance. Yeah. And it's not one without the other.